So just 5 more days until Red Dead Redemption 2 finally arrives on the PC, and if you haven't kept up with the game in the past year, there's actually quite a lot going on, especially with the online mode, which is in a much better state than it's ever been. And for those who took a break a while ago, you might even have a pleasant surprise when coming back from all of the brand new content in it. I'm going to discuss all of that in just a little bit, as well as everything you need to know about the upcoming release, including game additions, bonus content, preload and release time and more. But before jumping in, I'd also like to take a second and congratulate the user Vince for winning our giveaway and getting a free copy of Red Dead Redemption 2. We are trying to organize these on a monthly basis thanks to our sponsor Instant Gaming, so if you haven't checked their website yet, go ahead and do so, because Instant Gaming sells games at some of the best prices you can find around. So if you also happen to enjoy discounts, then check out the links in the description. Now, starting with the actual release schedule, the game is going to arrive next week, November 5th, on the Rockstar Games launcher. In fact, you can even start preloading the game right now, as this was made available literally yesterday, and the size is actually quite significant. About 109 gigs of download is what it's showing for me right now, but it might be bigger when it actually gets installed. As for the other platforms, the game can also be purchased from the Epic Games Store right now, as well as other digital retailers like Humble Bundle or Green Man Gaming, but Steam users unfortunately will have to wait a little bit more until this December to actually get their hands on the game. It's a bummer, but I guess it makes sense for Rockstar to bring people on their platform first, especially since most players would rather have this game on their Steam account with the rest of their game library. As far as the system requirements go, these are surprisingly more lax than I initially anticipated for a game that looks this good. You can pretty much get away with a Ryzen 1500X, an RX 480 and 12 gigs of RAM for the recommended specs, so it's pretty damn good. I mean, the game was already quite well optimized for the PS4 Pro, and I only ever saw slight frame drops in Saint Denis because it was busy all the time, but otherwise the open lands are just gorgeous to look at, and I'm really excited to see this game at maximum detail and 60 FPS. Now, we talked about the release schedule, the system requirements, but what about the game additions and the bonuses? Well, Rockstar Games is offering some really good extra stuff if you pre-order the game through their own launcher. First of all, you'll get a free upgrade to either the special or the ultimate edition of the game, which are discounted by $20 each. So if you get the special edition, it's going to cost you as much as the base game, as in $60, while the ultimate edition is going to cost you $80 instead of the regular $100. But the bonuses most people are most probably going to be interested in are the Outlaw Survival Kit, Warhorse, and Treasure Map for the story mode, and the cash bonus and the 50 gold bars for the online mode. And 50 gold bars is actually quite impressive, but this comes on top of the bonuses that the special and the ultimate edition of the game already give, including a new bank robbery mission and the gang hideout, a dappled black thoroughbred horse, a gunslinger's outfit, special items, and other boosts and free weapons for the story mode. Meanwhile, strictly for the ultimate edition, players in the online mode are also given access to the Black Rose Bounty Hunter outfit and the Copperhead Enforcer outfit, a survivor theme for the camp, a black chestnut thoroughbred horse, free weapons including the volcanic pistol, the pump action shotgun, and the varmint rifle, which alone these cost up to $1,000, and finally a rank up bonus that works up until rank 25. If you're a fan of the game that already planned to get it anyway on the PC, then getting it through their launcher will give you the most amount of bonuses for the money that you spend, but of course it's not going to be on Steam, which is something that I know a lot of you guys want. Another big discussion point is of course the possibility of character transfers. Will Rockstar Games let us actually transfer our characters from the console version of the game onto the PC version? And it's actually a legit good one, because Rockstar Games actually did this in the past with GTA Online. Unfortunately, so far there's no official word on the matter outside of maybe a support ticket that was answered a while ago, and I've got the translation over here, and according to this it seems that the transfers from the PC to the PS4 are not possible, as these are, and I quote, technically two different games. If that is true or not, Rockstar Games hasn't made any statements yet, and with just 5 more days until launch day, we might very well not get this option, at least not at first. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen later on. There's also the argument that this is the type of decision that can be taken later into development, since it might not be on the top priority. Maybe it wasn't communicated yet internally, but what we do know is that there is a lot of fan support for it, especially since there is a precedent, and especially since there's probably a lot of players who are going to purchase the game, repurchase it for the PC. Moving on, since we've talked about new features being added, and while the story mode didn't get any new content yet, the online mode went through some much needed improvements. I'm not going to name all of them as there's quite a few, but I'll go over the ones I found most important and the ones that actually changed the most about the gameplay loop for me. The first ones and the most exciting are of course the specialist roles that have been added in the September 10 update. These are the bounty hunter, the trader, and of course the collector. You can pursue all of these at the same time if you want to, and they come with some of the best reward tracks that don't feel too grindy either. Even more so when you consider that some of these have become the best money-making methods currently in the game, and the rewards here are damn good. And they just change your gameplay loop so much compared to how it used to be, and as a matter of fact, I oftentimes find myself lost in doing a mix of all of these at the same time. Sometimes I'm opening a map to some rare collector play card, which might bring me close to a town where I might take up a bounty or two, and then on the way back to the town I might take a few animals here and there to bring them to my camp for the trader role, and all of these will open up all sorts of new gameplay possibilities for you. As a bounty hunter, you can pretty much buy and own a bounty wagon to carry the bad guys back to jail. As a trader, you can get a hunting wagon to carry your goods and sell them in bulk. Meanwhile, as a collector, you can get a shovel or even a metal detector to find precious items, and there's dozens of other bonuses, upgrades, and amazing looking outfits that will make your character so much better. So it's definitely something that you might want to check if you get back into the game. The second thing on the list is the Outlaw Pass, and this is something that at first I was actually very skeptical about because it just meant that I had to spend more money on nothing more than another version of the season pass that so many other games have. But after asking around a little bit and getting some confirmations from other players, I found out that the rewards greatly outweighed the cost, and actually went in, purchased it, and played around with it, and it is most definitely worth it. If not for the great amount of rewards you get as you level up, at least for the fact that by the time you fully upgrade it, you'll get back the entire 35 gold cost that you used to purchase the pass in the first place. So there's quite a lot of value here if you decide to spend your in-game gold or if you decide to give in some money for the game, but otherwise it doesn't feel too grindy either. This brings me to the third major change, and that is of course the daily and the weekly mission systems that have been added a while ago. These are the equivalent of dailies you can find in other online games that reward you for completing certain activities each day, which many of you complete anyway as you play. In this case, you get gold, about 2 bars per day if you complete all dailies, and if you're the type of player who does this every day, there's also bonus gold multipliers when going on a weekly streak. So it's definitely rewarding the players who are engaged most with the game itself. Again, it's the type of stuff that you do in the game anyway, and you're getting bonus rewards for them on top, so who would say no to that? Of course, it doesn't mean that these are the only new additions. There's dozens more. I really like the defensive mode that was added. It really helps against griefers, though I must admit that I'm seeing way less people willing to engage in shootouts with you than ever before, even more so compared to how it was before the open beta ended. There's also a character change appearance added, and for the first time you do it, it's actually going to be free. So of course, I went in, I changed my character, it was really awesome, but after the first free one, it's going to cost you some gold, about 10 bars if I'm not mistaken. And speaking of changing the character, there's also a lot more customization options in there that now truly let you create a beautiful looking character, and this applies to both males as well as females. And actually, if you check out YouTube, there's a lot more new character designs that are actually really damn beautiful. Just to name a few, I'm pretty sure there's now double the amount of faces that we used to have. There's a lot more hairstyles, especially at the barbershop. There's new facial hair features, a lot of other stuff in there that are definitely going to increase the quality of life. There's also new outfits and clothing options, some new weapons in there as well, and generally speaking, if you took a break from the game and only now come back to it, you are going to be blown away by the stuff that has been added, as there is so much to do and so much to acquire. But even if you never took a break in the first place, you're most probably still going to enjoy the new roles and everything they come up with, because they bring so much replayability to the online mode. Anyway, this has been it with the Red Dead Redemption 2 PC release recap. Now tell me down below, are you going to purchase this or repurchase this game for the PC? And if you are, on which platform is it going to be? Is it going to be on the Rockstar Games launcher, or are you going to wait until December to get it on Steam? Comment down below, and in the meantime, also don't forget to like and subscribe on this to of course appease the YouTube gods, and I will see you guys in the next one.